Welcome back to Screensaver. Somebody was asking in the chat room, Mike 2 was asking in the chat room, if SVCD is more compatible than the XVCD we just demonstrated. And actually, it's less compatible.
Really?
Because I just asked John Novice, he says SVCD is MPEG 2, not MPEG 1. And so it has a little bit more difficulty. Plus, because it's not a free format as MPEG 1 is, you have to pay for a player if you're going to play it back on the PC.
It starts to get expensive.
So it's better to go to, instead of going from VCD to SVCD, go to XVCD. That's a better choice for compatibility. And it's cheaper.
Not to mention, it looks nicer.
So you finally got to fly.
Yes, I did. Well, you had the chance.
Twice I've turned down the Blue Angels.
Twice.
And after seeing the next tape, I am so happy. What did you do?
They call it the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I am not going to argue. I got to fly in an F-18 with the Blue Angels at the U.S. Navy's Flight Demonstration Squadron. They do hundreds of shows every year for air shows all around the country. Is there technology behind this? I don't care. I double-timed it down
Yes,
to the Naval
there is.
Airfield in El Centro, California to catch my flight. Let's see what happened. We're here at the Naval Airfield in El Centro, California. That's the winter home of the Blue Angels. Most recruiters, they show up with a folding table, maybe a little banner to go on the front, a slick suit and a bad tie. United States Navy, they show up with the Blue Angels and a stack of F-18s. I'm lucky enough to get a chance to fly in one of the Blue Angels jets. But first, a little briefing.
My name's Sean Connolly. Been in the Navy for just under 6 years. Your pilot today is going to be Lieutenant Craig Olson. Got 3 ground rules. Number 1, don't touch anything, okay? Lots of things in there that hurt you. Number 2 is don't take anything in there except what I give you. Number 3 is have fun. Tell people it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Sit down in there, kick your feet out in front of you as far as you can go. Go ahead and feel the rudder pedals. Directly in front of you is a number pad, like off your telephone keypad. That's our up-front control. It's the radios between the aircraft and the tower. On the left-hand side, you're going to have the heads-up display. Everything 7 sees through the glass window in the front there. You're going to see in the back. A couple things you might want to pay attention to is airspeed. Okay.
And altitude.
The primary thing that I like to point out, though, is your G monitor down here. Some of the effects on your body, you're going to feel some things that you've probably never felt. The best thing I can relate it to is a roller coaster ride, and then multiply that by 100. It's going to be great. Do like you're doing a crunch, and you're going to say hook. It's H-O, breathe out, okay, breathe in. Got it?
Got it.
Okay.
You all set?
I'm fired up.
How'd you get this gig?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a lifelong dream for me. Joined the Navy about 9 years ago and got lucky enough to get jets and then got lucky enough to get on with Blue Angels.
We actually fly about 18 inches apart at times in the demonstration.
240-7 runway 30, clear for takeoff. Clear for takeoff, thanks for the help. Blue Angel 7. All right, Patrick, you all set? Yeah. Here we go. Are you all set?
Oh, yeah.
Ready, hit it. Whoa! All right, we're out of here.
We have 2 flight control computers for redundancy, but what those do is basically take the stick inputs. Depending on my speed, it's going to adjust the deflection of the flight controls accordingly to give me the amount of roll that I've commanded.
Should we go have some fun?
Yeah.
Let's do it. One more quick one to the right. Here we go. Whoa! Hit it.
You can't tell the physical labor that's involved with the flying by just sitting here and watching it until you get in the jet and you realize, wow, that, when they pull the G's across, that's a lot of work.
How we doing? A lot of G there, huh? 36 down, approved. You're probably F-18 in the break. There'll be number 2. Wind 240, 10, clear landing. 36, that one. Home sweet home.
You're crazy.
happened before. Second to last turn, right? They did a mock carrier landing, which essentially when they land on carriers, they approach hot on one side of the carrier. They do a 180 to reduce speed, a second 180 to reduce speed, then they land on the carrier, right? We went into that first turn somewhere around, I don't know, 400, 500, 600 knots, probably like 400 knots. He just jacked it up on edge. We were pulling 5 or 6 Gs. I wasn't paying attention, and you just see me. I'm just
6 times the force of gravity.
Yeah.
Pulls all the, as you would imagine, all the blood out of your head and your toes.
Yeah, well, they give you a lecture on the physiology of high G flight. The hook, yeah, the hook maneuver. If you're not doing what happens, right? Blue Angels do not fly with G suits, so they use their own basic. One, they're in really great physical shape.
Yeah.
These guys live for cardiovascular exercise, and two, because they don't wear G suits because the G suit physically moves, right? The G suit will squeeze your body to push the blood up into your head.
Keeps you from passing out.
Exactly. What happens, and it's really an unsettling experience, is first the blood basically, as the blood starts to drain out of your skull, right? First your vision gets a little brown and gray, and then it tunnels, and then it goes black. And what that means is the blood has essentially left your eyeballs. And if you do that hook maneuver, if you should have been doing that hook maneuver harder.
That's to squeeze your muscles.
Yeah,
to keep
basically
the blood.
you have everything clenched,
So it
and
won't
you're
pull.
going hook to pump the blood back into your
didn't work.
skull. Didn't work on that
You
last
actually
one.
passed out.
Actually passed out.
Can we see that again? Do we have a? We have
no,
a little,
let's not see that again.
I believe we have a little clip
No,
of
because
that.
it actually causes me pain.
All right, that's minus 1G inverted flight.
Okay, that was the first
Fuel
one.
pumps on.
That wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
That wasn't too bad. That's where
That was fun. Yeah, he basically did a loop and
And then we have another one.
you're just loving this, aren't you?
I am.
That looked like we did a split S, right? One of my favorite. There's
So much
There's
fun.
two 18,000 horsepower GE engines in the back of these planes, right? So we come across. We're above Glamis, which is the dunes east of El Centro, California, where the Naval Airfield was. We come in at over like 600 knots. He just pulls the stick back, does an Immelman, and suddenly we've gone from 500 feet to 16,500 feet.
You were telling me they're taking their horizontal acceleration and turning it
Yeah.
into.
Yeah, which that wasn't too bad. The one you just saw was a split S, and I was just at the end of that trying to figure out what day it was. I want to thank very much
fun.
Navy Lieutenant Craig Olson for taking me on quite the ride. Petty Officer Second Class, who tried so hard, Sean Conley did, to keep me from passing out, although I did make it through 7.1 Gs without passing out. Lieutenant Olson, oh boy, you worked me. And Lieutenant Michael Blankenship for setting me up with the ride on this $29 million beast.
29 million.
Yeah.
Wow. How much fuel did you use?
About 8,000 pounds.
That's a lot.
About a 41-minute flight.
All right.
Additional video footage and some stuff
So
I wrote
cool.
about it up at thescreensavers.com.
Very cool.
Don't go anywhere. Brett Larson stops by. He's going to show us how to hack an airport. Well, actually, he's going to show us how to hack a Apple PC that doesn't use Airport Extreme to get onto 802.11g. Good stuff. Still to come, Morgan has some free stuff to spruce up your documents. This is all coming up when the Screensavers continues.
Do-do-bop-do-do-do.